Hi everybody, we are in San Jac Dormitory at the University of Texas at Austin. And we are looking from the window view of my daughter's room in the North Tower of San Jac. And we just moved her in. We are from out of state, and so we flew here, and there, while we were getting ready to do this process, we looked at a lot of videos on YouTube. Most were super helpful, some were less helpful. But there's some things that we wish we'd had, some measurements and some information that we wish we'd had that we decided to share with you. So I'm going to let down these awesome minivan blinds and back up. And we'll talk about the window first. So we're going to give a lot of measurements. They're not going to be down to the millimeter, quarter inch, that kind of thing, but I think they'll help at least get you further along than any of the other videos so far. So this window is 46.5 inches wide. It is 65 inches tall. There is 14.5 inches of wall above. I know it's hard to see with the glare. Above the window, and there is 30 inches of wall to the sill below that window. We used standard 84-inch curtains that we hung basically up to, I'm going to try to get you up to the ceiling just using command hooks, and they fall a little bit below the sill, but not really anything that I'm going to worry about. These rails. Okay, so these rails go around, as you know, most of the room. We're getting to my daughter's side. This is her roommate's side. She has not yet moved in. So above the rails, there's 24 inches of wall. Above the rails, there is 34.5 inches of wall between the rails, and each rail is 2 inches wide. On the other side of the room, on the wall between the window and the closet wall, that's a solid bulletin board, and that is 48 inches wide and runs the entire width of that side of the room. Some of the furniture. Okay, so they give you UT gives you great measurements for the furniture online. I will add that this is super heavy, this furniture. We know we moved it a lot. They're really great. They're really, if you think and you look at those measurements and think, that's an odd measurement, they are very deep on the top. It gives you a nice big surface area. But just a side note, this is the same on the desks and on the dressers. There's a 6-inch overhang behind that. So the drawers and stuff don't go quite to the depth that the top of of either the desk or the dresser. This unit is movable. We have it right now underneath both desks, but it is movable. Inside that top shelf, that top drawer rather, is 13 inches wide and 19 inches deep. Those two shelves below it, they are 15 inches wide and 22 inches deep. So if you're thinking about putting any kind of storage units or anything in there, that is that. Closets. We had a lot of questions about closets. So 2 closets. The closet is 44.5 inches wide each side. So your side and your roommate both get the same. It is 79 inches from the floor to the shelf. It is, you lose a tiny bit of hanging space. You don't get that full 44.5 inches. You lose about 3/4 of an inch because of how it's hung, because that wood, it's nice and sturdy, but that wood takes away a tiny bit of your hanging space. Above that that shelf above is 17 inches deep, and it is 24 inches tall, although that height goes up above that lip of the closing closet thing. It's been a long day. The door to the closet. So it goes all the way up to 24 inches, but you can't access it all that way. On the very top, that is 23 inches deep and approximately 78 and a half inches long. And up there, as you can see, there is furniture. I think it's to bunk the beds. It's heavy as heck. You can't move it. So, plus, and really dusty. I don't think anyone's been up there for a while. So we did get that piece of luggage up there with that, but just a side note. We also had a lot of questions about the storage in the bathroom. So here are those cubbies, which you've seen a lot in other videos, but here's the measurements on them, so you have that. They are 7 inches deep, and they are 9 by 9. They're 7 inches above the cubbies, and below there is, where is it? Oh, below there is, I lost where I was looking. Oh, 22 inches. The shelf that goes over the toilet is 8 inches deep and 28 inches wide. So that should give you, oh, I forgot to tell you about the room. So they give you a great, the UT stuff, they give you a great measurement for the room, but they give you the room length from window to the door, which I was looking for rugs and things like that. That wasn't super helpful. So the room from the window wall to the bathroom wall is 13 feet 4 inches. And from side to side is 12 feet 5 inches. So 13.4 from window to the bathroom wall and 12.5 side to side. That meant that I could, what is here is a regular rug, 12 feet is standard off of the roll for carpet. I didn't have a measuring tape with me when I was laying it. I'm not sure I would have done it exactly how I did it this way. I started here against the wall to the bathroom and then had to cut around. We just used some tape to keep it down. There's a pad underneath there. We got a really inexpensive pad. But that left a little bit here on this side. Had I laid the carpet all the way against this wall first, I only would have had to cut around that little notch, which is about 14 by 14. But you know, it's in, and it took a while because the furniture's heavy and there was only 2 of us. So that is the measurement of all the main stuff. The other thing that I wanted to show you is the bed. As you've heard, the bed is adjustable. You do not have to bring anything. It just needs a mallet and a lot of patience to adjust it. I've got it, my daughter and I have it at the top of this. So it is 34 inches from the floor to this very top part here. You'll have to keep in mind you need to clearance for the metal, but it is 34 inches from floor to here. That meant on this side we could get 3 stackable units. Those are the deep ones from Bed Bath & Beyond. They work great, and she could get 3. She actually has 6, but underneath it with it on the top bar. And then over here for some bigger storage, we got the Commander bins. This is a 40-gallon bin. It is slightly longer than the bed is wide, but it's really slightly, and it's not really a problem. 2 quick hacks that I was going to show you. Because we were coming from a long distance, because I didn't know the exact measurement of the bed. I know some people custom make these long bed skirts. That was not happening for us. So this is what I've done now with the second child, and it works really great. These are just curtains, inexpensive ones that we got at Walmart, and they're attached using gigantic binder clips. I'm not sure you can see that, but yeah, there you go. It took me seconds. It was done in no time. Cheap, inexpensive. they can be used for something else later at another time, or adjusted for height or whatever. So that worked really well. I got 2 sets, so there's 4 panels altogether, 3 across the front, and then I put 1 at the back. The other hack that I will show you is the UT desks do not come with hutches on top for extra storage. We had seen a video on YouTube of a really done up room at Ole Miss, and it had these custom toppers made, which were really cool, except we were flying here and that just wasn't going to work for us. So this is our hack. It is a $15 bookshelf out of Target. That's an inexpensive mirror. Out of Walmart. The backing, we did copper because my daughter's room has copper stuff in it. That's from Home Depot. It normally comes with white. We just chose to put that back there. She hasn't finished decorating it yet. And then we got, this is kind of fun. There's lights too. We got those from Amazon. And the whole thing was pretty inexpensive. Just took a little, and we added the trim. I just cut some trim and attached it with double face tape. So that was our hack of the really nice ones out of Ole Miss. Not quite as nice, but more easily done and pretty inexpensive. So that was it, and I hope the information you find is helpful. I'm sure there's some information you're like, why didn't she tell me the measurement for? Sorry, but at least it's some help, hopefully.